So in this video, guys, I want to talk to you about the single most greatest accomplishment that I've achieved in my industrial design career. And the reason why I want to share this with you guys is so that you guys can hear the things that I did, the length that I went through in order to achieve this accomplishment. And if you can hear me out, apply the things that I did to your own process, hopefully you could also win your own competition. So it is the Duncan Anderson Memorial Scholarship. And this is the most prestigious scholarship that Cal State Long Beach has to offer to industrial designers, given to the two students who were at the top of their class, okay? So there's my name, if you guys can see that. And then there is my buddy right there. And so, I notice whose name is on top, by the way. Anyways, so the reason why this is the most proud accomplishment out of all of my other ones, I've designed on television for $500,000. I've created this YouTube channel, growing it to bigger than I ever thought it would be, reaching all of you guys, designing all of these products that have gone to market. I was proud about each and every one of those products. But this is the proudest award that I won in my design career. And the reason is because it proved to me that I could make it in the industrial design field, okay? When I was first starting off, I was just like you guys. I didn't know if industrial design was gonna work out for me. You know, I was so concerned if I could even get a job after graduating. What made me and allowed me to commit to industrial design was this single idea. I thought to myself, if I could prove that I could be at the top of my class, it would also show me that I can compete with the rest of the world once we graduated. On the flip side, if I couldn't prove to myself to be at the top of my class, how could I even compete with the rest of the world once we graduated? So it's flawed thinking, right? I mean, obviously you could still make it in the real world even not being at the top of your class, but winning this scholarship was literally the representation of that belief, which showed me that I could make it in this field. So let's just get right into it, guys. The very first thing we need to do when we're trying to win a competition is to understand the criteria, okay? What are the things that we need to submit in order to be eligible to win? So for my competition, there were two things. It was an essay and it was my portfolio, obviously. So for the essay, I was supposed to show who I was and why I wanted to win. For the second part, it was my portfolio that would actually be shown physically at a show where we would invite our family and our friends and the professors, which were also the judges, that would evaluate us for the night and determine who would be the winner. So these two things were the things that I knew I had to get right. The first one is the essay. I knew that a lot of the students in my class were gonna take this essay lightly. They were probably going to just write it the weekend before it was supposed to be submitted, probably not show anybody else, and bank on their quality of work, their portfolio, to help them win this competition. So I thought to myself that if I could write a banger letter that really touched the judges, it would give me that slight edge to win this competition. So what did I do to write this essay? Well, I actually gave myself a lot of time to write this essay. I started this essay 3 months before it even needed to be complete. And so this gave me so much time to write the best essay I could, send it out to my friends, have them spell check it, have them word it in ways to where it was most understandable. And all of that is nothing too special. You know, it did give me the edge knowing that my other classmates probably weren't gonna work as hard as I was on this essay. But what I also did was I reached out to the winners of the previous year so that I can see the things that they wrote in their essay that allowed them to win. And so knowing this, I had a formula that already worked that I can also apply to my own essay. So this was a very kind of unique thing that I did that kind of just gave me another edge on top of everybody else. So I spent a lot of time on my essay. I sent it out to a lot of my close friends to have them reword it for me to make sure that it was understandable. And I also reached out to the winners of the previous year. So these three things allowed my my essay to be the best that it could possibly be. So that was the essay, guys. I did my best on that part. So if you have other criterias, make sure you nail it for each criteria, okay? So let's move on to the second part, which is the portfolio and the show. So it was really my body of work against the rest of my classmates. And I knew that design, even though you're good, design can be very subjective. And so I was like, man, it's my work against another person. It could come down to just style, not really craftsmanship. I was just figuring out, like, if design is so subjective, how could I have my work stand out amongst the rest? So what I thought of doing was obviously to show my body of work, which I put my heart and my soul into already. But what I also wanted to do was create a brand new project. This brand new project was going to be a dedicated project specifically for that show. And so I felt like if I were to create an awesome project specifically for that show so that the professors can see that I'm not playing any games, okay? So what I actually did was I also created this new project, and along with that, a model. And this was what I created. I call this my $6,000 model right here. It's very old now, it's dusty and like it's falling apart and stuff like that. But I call this a $6,000 model because that's how much the scholarship was. And obviously $6,000 is a good chunk of money, but I didn't just do it for the money. I obviously wanted to win to prove to myself that I was at the top of my class, okay? But this model here took me about 2.5 months to make, and I knew that this model couldn't just be this little itty bitty thing, like it had to be big, and it had to be flashy, and it had to be seen. So I was like, what could I make in order to win this competition? What could I do to capture the attention of everybody that will be showing up at this show? So I thought, well, okay, I'm definitely gonna need to make a model. I'm definitely gonna need to make it big. I didn't want to just make like a static thing. I wanted to make this beautiful organic shape that had speed and emotion to it, so that it wasn't just like this plain, like, hey, I designed an ice chest, I designed a cooler, even though it could be big, it's not flashy, even though, it could be well made, it's just not, it doesn't evoke that emotion. None of the judges expected any of us to make a model specifically for this show. They all thought we were just gonna show our projects that we were working on as we went through the years up until this point. So I was thinking when they approached my booth, they're gonna see something that they haven't seen before. And I also did mention it in my essay as well, that I also took the time to create a brand new model specifically for the show. Okay, I knew that not a lot of people were gonna do this. And actually, what the funny thing is, the other person that won this competition as well, he also made a big flashy model as well. So it's kind of funny how we both did that and we both won. So I'm never gonna get rid of this thing, and I've gotten rid of a lot of my projects. Okay, so that is another thing that I did that I feel that really helped me out and just gave me another edge on top of all those other edges that I've told you guys about. Okay, let me tell you just one more thing that I did, okay? The last thing that I did was I actually took the time out to talk to each professor. Each professor was a judge, and they were gonna evaluate our work. I wanted to not just show them that I wanted to win, I wanted to directly tell them that I wanted to win. So what I did was I actually approached each professor that I knew was gonna be a judge that would determine the winner. And I asked them this. I said, hello, Mr. Blank. I really would like to win this scholarship. I've been very, very interested in it, and I'm trying my best to win. Do you have any advice for me so that it would help me win this scholarship? Okay, so what this did was, one, it gave me advice to know what to do to win the scholarship, okay? But two, it also indirectly told the judges that I really wanted to win this. And I approached them and I talked to them. And so they had it in their mind that Jimmy is out there to win this shit. All of this didn't come natural to me. I literally sat there knowing that I wanted to win this competition so bad that I just kept thinking of new angles and new ideas and new things that I could possibly do that was possibly even outside of the realm of design to where it would boost my chances of winning. And so reaching out to the previous winners, really working on my letter, creating a brand new model that the professors wouldn't expect, and again, also talking to each professor and telling them that I really would like to win and if they would have any advice for me. It wasn't just all luck. Like, I had to sit down and really think about what I needed to do, that was possibly even outside of industrial design in my body of work in order to win. So what I did was I actually had a friend that was in the year that was before me, and their year was up for the scholarship, okay? And so what I did was I actually mentored her and I told her the things that I did in order to win. She did the things that I told her to do. She created a model, she talked to the professors, she made a banger letter, and she won the scholarship for her year. These are the things, guys, that I did in order to win my greatest achievement in industrial design that proved to me that I am worthy of this field. Out of those 10 designers that I told you, there are these 2 designers that were just absolutely amazing. 2 of the best designers that I've ever met in my life, okay? They were great at drawing, at model making, at 3D CAD. They were rock stars in every single aspect of industrial design. So I knew that I had to come up with something more that would beat these top-notch students. And I'm so happy that I was able to figure it out, and that is why this here is my proudest accomplishment. All right, designers, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a thing or two. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you have any questions for me or if you just want to talk. Also, if you did learn something, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for more videos. All right, guys, my name is Jimmy and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything.